Hello, everyone. Welcome to VizConnect, connecting you with the art of data visualization and storytelling. My name is Sagar Kapoor. I'm part of customer success team at Tableau. So VizConnect is your weekly Tableau community call, which helps you to get inspired, motivate, and participate in Tableau community events, improve your craft in data visualization and storytelling, and learn something new. So we have our YouTube channel. So all the VizConnect sessions which are presented are posted to our YouTube channel. Go ahead, subscribe to it. Some great content is waiting for you. We have a LinkedIn group. Go ahead, connect with each other and learn from each other. Also, the Tableau conference is around the corner. It's on 9th to 11th November, depending on which particular region you are located at. I think the biggest events in terms of all the data rock stars to go ahead, learn something new, connect with each other. And also, what's new in 2020.1.3 was released this month. Some great updates in terms of data management. You can go ahead and generate missing rows in Tableau Prep, a lot of improvements in Tableau Prep Conductor, and also in terms of data quality warnings in Tableau Catalog. You can go ahead and check more on our website. Also, the integration with Slack. This is something I'm excited about, right? And it opens a lot more doors, what we can do in terms of going ahead and integrate Tableau with Slack. And also now you have personal space on your Tableau server or Tableau online. So you don't have to go ahead and chase your Tableau admin server to go ahead and create a separate folder or project. You can go ahead and use personal space as a staging area when you're going ahead and creating your dashboards. A lot other new features have come up in 2020.1.3. Go ahead, check it out. I will go ahead and share the link shortly. With that, let me go ahead and introduce our speaker for today. Her name is Joti Gautam. So Joti is working as a business intelligence analyst at JLL. She has been an active member of Tableau public community from last 1 year and is passionate about data visualization and analysis. Personally, she loves to do a non-abstract painting, doodling, meditation, and book reading. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Jyoti to talk about effective usage of Tableau tooltips in dashboards. Jyoti, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sagar. Let me share my screen. Let me know if it is visible to you.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay, thank you. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the VizConnect and thank you, Sagar. So, I would not like to waste any time in anything. So we will directly jump into the topic. So today we are going to look into the effective usage of Tableau tooltips in the dashboards, how we can leverage the tooltips in our dashboards. So let's go ahead. I'll give a little bit of intro about myself so that you can know some of the background. So my name is Joti Gautam and I was recently selected as a Tableau ambassador in the recent cohort. So thank you DataFim and Tableau for recognizing the work. And this year in the April only, I was also selected as the Tableau Public Featured Author, which is also an initiative by Tableau. So while I'm talking about these two programs about Tableau, I would like to stress that these are the initiatives for the community which are started by Tableau. So if you have the public profile and you want to learn new things, engage in the community and start working, that will really help in your career, in your portfolio. It helps a lot. It personally helped me a lot. So moving ahead, I'm working as a BI analyst at JLL. This is the recent job which I switched, and it's a great organization and really positive environment for learning. So I'm passionate about, obviously, for what I'm here. So it's analytics, data design, and storytelling. But apart from that, I also do painting, and yoga and meditation are not included here because they are new. So I'm not good at those. So what I want to do this year, like the goals for this year are like to be good at strategic thinking, to be good at asking the questions more, and to document my thoughts more regularly, because that really helps a lot when you are when you want to be like clear your mind and want to focus on something. So documenting really helps. And after that, if you want to reach out to me, then you can reach out at LinkedIn, Twitter, and if you want to see some of the work, you can go to the Tableau public site and then can search on my name, or you can directly go to the handle. So that's about me. So our agenda for today is really simple. So we are gonna look at like what are the tooltips. I'm sure pretty much that most of you must be aware of what are tooltips. So we'll dive into the ways how we can use them in dashboards, some of the different creative ways. And then we are going to look at some of the examples from the community, which are really good. And the tooltip usage is shown at next level in them. So we will explore some of those. So without further delay, let's jump into the topic. So I would say I would start with what are tooltips. Most of you will know, but to set the background, I will say that tooltips are the additional data details which you get when you hover over any particular mark on the visualization in the view or on your dashboard. So it can be one mark or it can be more than one marks as well. So this is the normal definition of tooltips. Now, if we want to take it to the next level, we will also say that tooltips generally show a story within a story. So normally, what we do is that we try to put a user story which we want to show to the audience, and that storyline in itself is shown on your main data visualization, but there can be another story which can be told with the help of tooltips when you hover over a particular mark. So that's the work which is done by the tooltips, and that's how I interpret these tooltips. But a lot of the times I have seen and I have come to know about this argument in the community and in many places, that if a good visualization is good enough, there is no need of the Tableau or any software which you're using. There is no need of the tooltips. It should be good enough to show all the details on the first look. It should be very easy to understand. So I won't deny to those facts, but there is this fact also that today, when we are in the world of interactive visualizations, we can leverage tooltips to a great extent, and that can work as a game changer in your visualization and storytelling. Um, there is a place for everything in the visual analytics world. So we can go ahead with tooltips, without tooltips. We can go ahead with the static visualizations, and dynamic visualizations have their own usefulness. And in the same way, so we would not go into that argument, and we will just look into how we can use tooltips. So tooltips can be much more useful than you ever thought. We are going to look at those things. And the main area where tooltips help a lot is the user experience. So through our data visualizations, we want to make the user experience very smooth, interactive, so that they can also get to know things very quickly and easily. So that's the area where tooltips help a lot. And let's jump into the ways we can help to um, make our tooltips much better. So the first point is that tooltips provide the contextual information. they provide detailed information about a particular point, a particular mark in your visualization. So that is the main work which is done by the tooltips. But if you look here, there are two charts shown here. They look really similar, but there is a difference in their tooltips when I will hover over the bars. So this chart is particularly showing me the profit by the subcategory, and this is the same old our favorite data source, that is Superstore data. So if I hover over here, you will see that it is showing me a tooltip. This is the normal tooltip which you will see whenever you will create a chart and in Tableau, and it will fill out with this thing. So this looks good. If you are not even including tooltip, then it's not gonna add any new detail. But if you are adding tooltip, if you have turned on the tooltips, then this is the by default which you will see. So here we can see the subcategory, we can see the profit, and we can see the year for which this is. So this looks good. But when we go here and see here, you will see that there is much more impact, and there is much more clearance. Clarity is more here, and a person can quickly know what's happening here, even if that person is not very familiar with the visualization about the topic or about the things which are being used in the visualization. So what's the difference? So first thing which you can see here is the human friendly language. So the language which we normally use to talk, that is being used here. Like here we are just showing that subcategories copier and profit and year. But if we go here, what we are doing is that we are showing profit with extra detail, which is the difference from the previous year, and then we are showing it as a normal line, that is profit with a difference of 41% from previous year, then subcategory which is copiers. So what we have used here, we have used a lot of points here. First is the human friendly language which we have talked about, and the second is the formatting. Like we have used a bigger font for the things where we want to put the more focus. So profit is the thing where we want to put the focus, so we have made it bold, we have made the font bigger than the other text. Then we are highlighting the percentage difference from the previous year. That is something which is not visible on the visualization, but yes, in tooltips we can add some of the calculated fields which are not available in the visualization, but we can add them. So this is the way we can make a simple tooltip look much more intuitive and user friendly. So what we have used here is the size, color, and the placement of the objects on the visualization in the tooltips. And let me go to this particular sheet and show you how this has been done. So this is the way. If you want to add a particular calculated field which is not there in the visualization, you can go to the insert, and all the calculated fields which are available in the visualization on the details card, that is going to be here, and you can just select them and show over here, and that's the way it has been done. So this is a normal Visha tooltip which has been used. So this was one thing, how we can leverage tooltips to show them in a more user-friendly way. Now coming to the next one, we have the Vision tooltip. So this is the something which has been introduced by Tableau in earlier releases, and this has been really a game changer. A lot of the community members have used them in different creative ways, and the things which I'm going to present here are all which I have learned from there only. So thanks to the community again. So this is the same chart which is shown here, which we saw earlier, but the differences in the tooltips. If we hover over here, we can see that apart from the normal tooltip which we were showing earlier, we are showing more details also here. So suppose someone only wants to see the profit of the copier. So someone in the organization is at a point where they just want to see what which is the one subcategory which is having the highest profit. They can see here, but someone can be at such a position in the organization who wants to see more details. So rather than cluttering the space, we can show that in the tooltips, and this is the way how we do that. So what is being done here is that we are adding the details such as profit in the copiers category for the weeks in that year, and then how the profit is by regions, that like which region is having the more profit, and which is the week where we saw a spike in the profits which we gained for this particular subcategory. So let's jump into how we created this thing. This is the same good old chart. And if I unhide the sheets being used here, so this is the one chart which you saw in the tooltip profit, which is by the region. So we just normally create the profit by region. And then another one is the profit per week. So this is also normal lines area chart, which is being created here. But where we use them is that we go in here and go into the tooltips. What is being done here is that we are providing a heading, and then we are adding the sheet in the tooltip of that particular chart. So how do we add that? If I enter here and go to insert, we can go to the sheets, and it will show me all the sheets which are available in our workbook, and we can select a particular sheet and then it will be visible here. So if suppose I'm normally randomly selecting any sheet, so it will come as this HTML string here. So let's try to understand what this HTML string is. So what's happening here is it is providing the sheet name, and then it is providing the width, like what is going to be the width when somebody will hover over the tooltip, what is going to be the width of our visualization which we are showing in there. And then there is going to be a particular height, and then there is a parameter where we are adding the fields through which we want to filter a particular visualization. So right now I have selected all fields here. So whatever fields are being used, suppose I was hovering over the copiers, so it will go and put copier in the fields section, and then it will go to that particular sheet which we were using earlier, and then filter out and show the visualization which we see when we hover over that particular point. So what's going on at the back end is that this particular string is passed, and when it is passed, it creates an image, normal PNG image, and that static image is shown to you in the tooltips. So there can be one sheet added, or there can be multiple sheets added. So let me clear this thing. Yeah. So when I hover over here, so here we see two sheets. The similar way we can add as many sheets as we want. I think there would be a number on how many sheets we are adding, but I'm not sure. We'll have to check. But yeah, we can add. So this is one way we can leverage Vision tooltips to show more detail. So why I'm stressing on this point is that when I started in the beginning using Tableau, I was very ignorant. Like I do not used to put much focus on the tooltips, but thanks to the people in the community, I got the feedback, and special thanks to my mentor Adam Miko. So he's great at this thing, and I learned it hard way that we can leverage tooltips to to make our visualizations much better. So for the beginners, it is very important to put focus on the tooltips because they can really be a game changer, believe me on this. So yeah, so this is one way. And one more thing which I wanted to stress, yeah. So here, the max width and height which you see here, normally it is preferable that we put the width and the heights under 600 pixels, because if we are going over that, then it can be an issue with the performance of the workbook as well. So if your visualization is something which requires more pixels, like it requires more place, then I think you don't need to use the tooltips. You can filter that on the visualization itself and show it somewhere. But yeah, max width and height, if you want to keep, you can keep 600, but it is preferable and suggested to keep it below that. Normally, what I do is I keep it around 350 by 350 or 350 by 400. That is the normal thing which is done by me. And yeah, let's move ahead. So this was the Vision tooltip, and let's go ahead to the next one. So if you see here, this is also an example of Vision tooltip, but it's a normal line chart which is being shown here. I will hover over a particular point on the line and voila, it will show me a heat chart along with the bar charts shown here and there. So this was the method invented by Jeffrey Schaefer. He's a really great person, and he was Tableau Zen master for many years. And after that, right now, he's part of Tableau Zen Master Hall of Fame. And so this was first introduced by him, and it's really great way to show the details in the tooltip. So what's happening here is, let me go to the sheet. So what is happening here is that we are going to to select a particular point, and then when we hover over that, it is going to show the details as per that particular point. So if we are see here, we are showing the quantity, like how many orders were there for um, a particular month and the year. So this is showing that, and when we hover over that particular month, it is going to show the weeks in that month and the days, and show how many orders were there on a particular day, like 31 orders on week 45 on the day Sunday. So this is also a great way of analytics. So now let's jump into how we create that thing. There also we are making use of the multiple sheets. Let me show you the sheets first. So this is the normal heat map which we have created. This is a simple visualization where we are showing the quantity by the week and the month, and it is for all the months. So that's why it looks cluttering. But if you see here, there is a filter which is automatically passed when we put this sheet into the tooltip of that particular line chart. So with the help of filter, it is going to show this chart for that particular month only. Right now, you will see a lot, but if you just filter it out, it will show. It will just show for that particular month only. And if I go here, it is showing me for the weekdays. What I have just done here is that I have not shown the headers here. So why have we shown here? It's because we are using that in the tooltip in a different way, where we don't need the headers. They are being passed through the heat map. So I'm not showing those here. And this is a normal bar chart. And then if we go here, this is also a normal bar chart, but this is in the reversed manner. And here also, if I show the headers, these are all the weeks, and this will be filtered by the tooltip automatically. You don't need to do anything here, but it will show here once you add the particular sheet in the tooltip. So yeah, remove all the headers, and I have removed all the fancy stuff like formatting and everything so that it can be just more clear. So this is the thing. When we go here, go in the tooltip, and this is the sheet heat map which is being shown. Now let me do one thing. Let me remove all the sheets and just show you the heat map. Click OK. It will just show you the heat map. So now you can see that it is just a heat map, but the bar charts are not being shown. But if I go here again and add that, now I'm adding one sheet. I'm not adding the another one. I added the one sheet and it will show me the bar chart which was at the side. So what we have done is we have placed two sheets adjacent to each other. If you go here and see, these two sheets don't have any space, anything. Once the string for one sheet completes, we start the another one. This is the way we place them together. And now we want to place the another sheet below that. So that is done by this thing. So I have placed a normal uh, it. So I have placed a sheet, one more sheet here, which has the width 600. So it is the total width of both heat map and the bar chart, which I want, which is 600, where heat map is of 300 and this is of 200. So the another sheet, it is going to be of 360. But why I have placed this empty sheet here is because Tableau won't take the whole sheet length if we don't put a sheet above that which is of the whole length, because here we are doing partition of the whole width in two sheets. So before that I need to put that, otherwise it will always show me the bar chart below the heat map. So it's really important to do this. If you already have a sheet which is of the full length, full width, so you don't need the empty sheet, but I didn't had any sheet over there. So this is a little hack which we can do, like putting a empty sheet and just reduce the height so that it won't show up or take much space. So yeah, this is the way. And if I click here now, I can see the charts again. So yeah, this is also a great way. But now one thing which can be argued here is that why can't we just click on a particular point and use the dashboard actions to filter out the things so that we can show that on the dashboard only. So yeah, that can be done, but sometimes there might be cases where we don't have that much space in the visualization, or we want to make it a simple clean visualization where we do want to clutter the space and we want to have some white space added so that it does not decrease the user experience, because at the end our main motive is to increase the user experience and improve it in a better way. So yeah, this is a good way we can use them. I would not recommend using the scatter plots in the tooltips, because if you hover over, if you click over here, this is a normal static image. So if you have a scatter plot here, it won't give you much information. But if the scatter plot is in the form of a map, where you are showing a map and points over that, then that can be really helpful. But then we'll talk about the performance issues as well, because there can be many performance issues if we are using many vision tooltips, and that too in the form of maps or some heavy charts. because what it is doing is it is rendering the filters at the moment while we are hovering over a particular mark. So it does impact the performance of the visualization, but it is really useful if you are using it at the places where it is needed only. So yeah, that is one thing. Let me hide the sheets because yeah. So the next thing which I want to show you is the way where we can allow the user to select what they want to see in the tooltips. Suppose I am going to show a visual, I'm going to prepare a dashboard for a person um, who is at a one level, country level, and then there is another person who is at the region level. Suppose someone is looking after all the things on Asia level. So that those can be the two different viewpoints which we want to serve. But one thing which they both want to see is that what are the sales as per the different subcategories. So I can allow the user to see what they want in tooltip, whether they want to see the segregation based on the region in the tooltip or they want to see that based on the segment. So if I click the region, it will show me the sales by region when I click over there. But if I go to the segment, it will show me the sales as per the segment. So what we are achieving here is that we are not cluttering the tooltips as well by putting both the views, because there is one person who don't want to see the sales by region. So I don't want to let that thing come in. So this is one thing we can do. So let's jump into how we are doing this thing. So this is really easy. So what we are creating here is I have created a parameter. What this parameter is saying is we have created a string parameter where it is showing all two things, that whether we want the visualization in tooltips by region or by the segment. And we will show this parameter in here or in the dashboard where you are seeing. And after that, what we are doing is we are creating the string. Sorry, I opened the wrong one. Yes, so what's happening here is that we are checking if the parameter which is being passed is by region, then the HTML string which we used to see on the tooltip, we are passing that as a string. So what we are seeing here is that we are passing here two HTML strings. One is for region and one is for segment. All the things will remain same here. The only thing which is going to change is the sheet name, and that is when we want to show it by a particular thing. Once this is done, we can add this to the visualization. And then when we go to the tooltip region, what we are doing here is that we are putting simply this field. Instead of selecting the sheet from here, what we are doing is we are putting in here. So when we pass the HTML code through this calculated field, it is going to do the same thing. Like if it is by region, then it is going to pass that particular Angular code here for region or the segment. So this is also one way we can play with the parameters which are being passed to that particular HTML string. And if you want to select that particular um, sheet for the calculated field. So what you can do is simply go here and put it here and then cut it from here. And then use it in the calculated field. as we don't want to use it here. So yeah, this is one way with which you can help the user to be more interactive with the dashboards. And this is one thing which I have used at my workplace as well. So it is really helpful and also engage the user in this. But then this thing also depends upon the kind of audience you have. If the people you are interacting with, if the people who are your client or the organization you are in are very data literate people, then it would be really easy to convince them to use these things. But if they are not familiar with the data field or the visualization field, then it might take some time for them to adapt to these things. But these are good things to start with, or start practicing, or start using these things in the dashboards. After that, I wanna put focus on this thing. This is actually a cool thing which I also discovered recently. So what this chart currently is doing is it is showing the sales by states, and we have small circles which are being shown for the cities as well. So if you hover over any point, it is going to show you the map of that particular city, and it looks like a zoomed version of that particular thing. So I find it really creative way. So what we find here is the tooltip size. So earlier, what option we gave to the client or the user or the audience was that they can choose what they want to see in the tooltip. But we can also let them choose like what size of the tooltip they want. Suppose someone, then again that this thing depends upon the role of the person who is going to use the dashboard. Suppose someone is going to use the dashboard and they don't want to get into much detail, like which are the cities and where are the sales more and where are less. They don't want to go into those details, so they can simply turn off those as well. So if I go here, I don't see the tooltip here. But if someone is a little bit like they want to have a quick look, then I can select the small size. When I select the size small, it is going to show me a small sized version of the tooltip. But if I click the medium one, it is going to show me a little bigger version of what I'm showing. And then the last part, when we go on the large size, it is going to show me a larger picture. But then what is the size of the large, that you can decide, or you can also let the user decide that. But then that won't be very helpful, that the user is entering the number of pixels they want for a particular tooltip. So what is best is you can provide them some of the options, that they can have the visualization in the large form, medium form, or the it can be small, or they don't want the tooltip at all. So this can be done with all types of tooltips actually. If the tooltip visualization is not needed, it can be turned off with this method. Now let's jump into how this thing has been done. So let me first, so this is a normal map chart shown with the help of sales and everything. What I want to focus is on the tooltips. So I will go into the tooltip thing. So again, there is a normal string parameter created, which is showing small, medium, large, and no map in the tooltip. These are the things. And then there is a tooltip calculation, which is being shown. which is deciding the width and the height of the tooltip. So if the parameter passed is medium, then I'm passing the length as 450. So what I'm doing here is I'm keeping the width and the height both equal. But you can also do another thing, like if tooltip size is medium, then one like width is this and height is this, then you will have to create two more calculated fields, but easy. So this is the way, like if the size is small, I have kept it 300. If it is large, I have kept it 600 and then 450. Again, I'm stressing on this point that you do not need to keep the size more than 600 because it will degrade the performance. And then if the person do not want the visualization at all, then we can keep it size as 1 pixel, so it won't be visible at all. If I click OK, so once that is done, I can use that tooltip size calculation in here. So what I'm doing is again the same sheet, that HTML code is being used here and passed as a string with the help of a calculated field. So that is this sheet, and then in the parameter where we pass the maximum width of the tooltip, I'm passing the tooltip size which I selected earlier as a string, and then tooltip height is also being passed as a string, and then I'm creating a single string. Once this is done, this string is passed in the tooltip here. So if you see here, I'm just passing the calculated field. One thing which I want to stress in here is that in the earlier releases, the filter option do not use to work through the string function. If we are passing the string through a calculated field, filters won't work there. But right now I see that they are working, and there is a little hack. If the suppose you are working on some earlier version and the filters are not working, so you can pass the same sheet here as well, but keep the height of that sheet as 1 pixel so that it is not visible. But yes, you can just keep it here, and then you can pass the calculated field in here, and voila, we are done. And then when I select a particular parameter, it is going to show me the size of the tooltip in that way only. And after this one, I have another use case also. So what we do here is that we are not using tooltips as our normal tooltips. What we are doing is um, we are creating a quadrant with the help of the sales and the profit to do some analysis. So suppose I want to add in 6,000 here. So it's gonna show me all the points which are falling into a particular quadrant. But this can be a little complex for the user to understand. So tooltips can assist in helping the user understand what is happening here, what they need to do. Sometimes they don't know, like why are they going to enter the sales and the profit. So in that case, we can show the tooltip here that you can adjust the sales and profit fields as per the requirement to do the analysis. So how we do that? What we are doing here is, this is a sheet in itself where I am making use of the shape and just put a dummy variable, anything here. And then when we hover over here in the tooltip, I'm passing all the things which I want to show when a person clicks or hover over that particular point, that what is this visualization for. So one more thing where this can be very helpful is that suppose you want to show a legend, you want to show a chart in the visualization. A simple shape can also add uh, a particular sheet here, like I can randomly add any. And okay, I hope it works. So it is gonna show the chart in here. So when we go to the visualization, it is gonna show a particular chart. So what we are doing here is that we are using a hack with the help of tooltips to show things in a much better way to improve the user experience. Because if you are using some complex logic, or if you want to let them understand the chart, or if you want to show them the steps which can be followed to understand a particular visualization, that can be done with the help of the tooltips. Now it can be argued that this thing can also be done with the help of the show hide buttons. So yeah, I completely acknowledge that thing, that this can also be done with the help of the show hide button, but it depends which method you find easy and then work on it. After the show info, I want to show another use case as well. So there was one quiz created by me recently on Tableau Public regarding the Pokemon. So what we have done here is that we are showing, I have taken the simpler version of the visualization. So when I hover over here, it is showing me all the information, like it is showing me a picture as well. So this is the another use case which can be there for the tooltips. Like we can show the pictures in the tooltips for particular points. And if you see here, it is also changing the color of the bar charts and everything when we hover over the simple pictures. So what we are doing here is that we are, sorry for the mess, I don't name the sheets. Yeah, so these are the pictures. I have assigned a picture to every Pokemon type. I have assigned the pictures here. So if you see, we can add the shapes to the shapes palette and then use here and then assign to them. And then when we are filtering the tooltip with the help of the number, which is a particular ID, which is given to a particular Pokemon, that is going to show that particular picture in there. In the same way, all the other charts like the name and this attack and defense power thing, and then other things, bar charts, everything is being shown with the help of tooltips and they are automatically filtered. One thing which I didn't really tell you is that if you see the all fields here, you don't want the visualization to be filtered by all the fields which are being used in the current visualization. So you can just remove that and go to the insert and use just one or just two. Suppose I want to use the name. I want to use name as a filter, or I want to use name as well as the number as a filter. So put comma and then number. This way you can also use the fields to filter a particular chart rather than going ahead with all the fields if you don't want. Like I have came across many scenarios where I didn't want to use all the fields. So in that case, you can use a particular field also then. So yeah, these were the use cases. And right now, I want to show you a particular link. So there was a blog published by Tableau when the Vision tooltip was introduced. So there were some amazing visualizations which were there. I will share this link with Sagar. So you should go here and check. There are some of the blogs also shown here which can be leveraged, and there are some visualizations in which the tooltips are used creatively, very creatively. And yeah, one of them is here, the zoom function, which we used, the map that can be used. Um, that is it. Um, Again, one last thing which I would like to say is that uh, just keep in mind the performance of the visualization while using all these features, because if the performance is degrading, then it won't be very much useful. So if you are using maps in the tooltips, so they are gonna reduce or degrade the performance of the workbook if it is very heavy. So yeah, keep in mind that, and that's it from my side. Thank you, everyone. And if you have any questions, then I'm ready to answer.
Thank you, Jyoti, for that inspiring session. So if you have any questions for Jyoti, just go ahead and put it in the chat. Happy to go ahead and ask her.
Okay. Is the Viz in the tooltip filtered by copier? Yes. If you are using the subcategory thing in the filter option, then it will filter by only the subcategory. But if you are using all fields, then it will filter by all the dimensions which are there in the field. So yeah.
And Jyoti, there is also a comment. If you will go ahead and share this workbook on your Tableau public profile.
I have already done that. Just want to make it public. Yeah, I will do that thing. Can I post the Tableau blog link here?
Sure, sure. Please go ahead. Just post it in the chat. And I have pasted your Tableau public profile. So yeah, keep an eye on that and you will get the workbook which Jyoti has presented today. And Jyoti, let me go ahead and ask you a question. What has been your inspiration to go ahead and increase your craft in Tableau? Like, how do you go ahead and learn these new tips and tricks, or how do you go ahead and learn from the community, right? Can you go ahead and share about it?
Yes, I would be really happy to share that, because I was using Tableau earlier as well, but I was not aware about the Tableau public or the community. So my learning was really less. I would use that for the work purpose only. But I have a really keen interest in the visualizations, in the data design, anything. So I am a really big fan of PowerPoint. So those were the things due to which I think that my interest grew more, because when you come into the community, there is a different kind of inspiration you get from people, because everybody here is working on increasing their learnings, on increasing their abilities. So everyone is working on their own, and they are actually going to lift you up, to give you the feedback, to praise you if you are doing really good job. So every community member is going to do that. So that really uplifts and inspire you to do more work. Suppose I have done a single visualization, which I didn't think that anybody is going to see, but um, do not think about that thing. Just share your visualization, and the community was so supportive that they helped me and they gave me feedback, and I was inspired to do more. So these are the things. And there are some of the blogs which are published by Zen masters and other ambassadors and everyone. These are really helpful, and they give you more tips and tricks to do some work. That also inspired to do more work. And I have got my job at JLL through the portfolio only. So I would say that this is also really helpful in the career. So if you are not using Tableau Public, start using that. If you are not sharing your work with the community, start doing that without thinking whether it will be good or bad, because that is going to inspire you in many ways. Yeah.
Thank you, Jyoti. And I think you mentioned a great point in terms of how you should go ahead and share your learnings with others, right? And one thing you also mentioned in terms of why you should go ahead and have a tablet public profile, right? So that in the long run, it will help you to go ahead. And if you're applying somewhere, it will be a live or a living resume for everyone that they can just go ahead and see how good you are in a particular technology. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that is really helpful.
Any other questions for Jyoti?
I couldn't find any other one.
I think if we don't have any questions, then we can go ahead and end the session 5 minutes before.
Yeah, I didn't understand this question. Can you clarify other two options? Which are those options?
So there is a question, should tooltips be planned even before the dashboard planning stage? What is the preferred time to be spent on tooltips?
Um, I would say that there is a way we start with the dashboard planning, like we prepare the wireframes and then we go ahead with what kind of charts we are going to have. I think this tooltip designing comes in the wireframe phase, but then choosing what kind of chart we are going to use, that comes later stage. So I think it's an ongoing process, but definitely starts at the time we are preparing the wireframe for our dashboards.
Thank
What
you.
is the preferred time to be spent for tooltips? That really depends upon your what is the use case? Like, is it going to be really important? Is the client really going to interact that much with the visualization, or they are just going to see it as a reporting thing? So, yeah, if they are really going to interact, then you can definitely add these things.
And there is one more question. Can you please contemplate on the idea on Watch Me Wiz video about how you created the Pokemon Wiz? It's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm thinking of preparing the blog on that thing, but yeah, if possible, I'll prepare the video. I have been procrastinating on documenting things, so yeah, I have listed that thing in my this year's goal. So yeah, I will be publishing a blog soon on this thing, like how I created the Pokemon.
Awesome. I have just one last question. What will be your advice for someone who is starting new with Tableau community?
Starting new, yeah. So this session was particularly for beginners so that they can focus on the tooltips more. But yeah, if someone is starting out, one thing is that people are generally stuck in the training phase that they keep on learning, learning, learning. But I would say that actual learning starts when you start practicing on the things and you start using that thing. And Tableau Public is really a platform where you can use anything. Nobody is going to say um, about the standards and everything. So yeah, start testing out your methods rather than just going through the learnings, going through the trainings.
Perfect. Thank you, Jyoti. So I think with that, thank you, Jyoti, for coming and presenting on VizConnect. It's always an honor to have you on VizConnect. And thank you for inspiring, motivate, and encourage us to go ahead and improve our craft in Tableau.
Thank you so much, Sagar, for having me here, and thank you all the people who joined here. Thank you so much.
Perfect. With that, thank you everyone for joining. I hope you you were able to go ahead and learn something new from Jyoti. And we will come back next week to go ahead and learn something new from our Tableau community champion.